The energy within the New Orleans headquarters has utterly exploded over the past 72 hours. The front office is officially declaring war on average. This squad is undergoing an epic transformation, proving management refuses to settle. We are seeing cutthroat signings and brilliant financial sorcery, proving New Orleans brass is pushing all their chips in on a championship era the world assumed was dead. Craving the raw, unfiltered reality of these blockbuster decisions? Smash that subscribe button right now. Become part of our elite insider crew as we hunt down 10,000 loyal followers. Grabbing Travis Etienne is not simply some run-of-the-mill, everyday roster tweak. This is a lethal strike designed to flood this offense with pure electricity, finally curing an agonizing drought of explosive backfield game breakers. Dive into Etienne's resume, and you will discover an absolute beast. His legendary college days and NFL warfare seamlessly match the terrifying juggernaut this coaching staff demands. His freakish adaptability strikes pure terror into rival coordinators, violently ripping up their defensive schemes play after play. Since open turf is the NFL's holy grail, Etienne brings a blistering agility and rocket-fueled acceleration that morphs basic dump-offs into catastrophic game-breaking nightmares. We watched this squad miserably fail to establish flow on mid-range throws. Now, by unleashing a lethal backfield weapon boasting these traits, our play caller wields a deadly escape hatch. He will absolutely annihilate any reckless linebacker daring to hunt down our quarterback. Forget the pure physical dominance for a second. This totally shakes up the locker room. Securing a superstar of this magnitude violently screams to every man in that building, "We are hunting for a ring today." It triggers an absolute bloodbath for carries among the backs, the ultimate dream scenario for an offseason. Strategically, brace yourselves to watch Etienne deployed everywhere. They will flex him out wide, brutally exposing sluggish linebackers in terrifying mismatches. Looking at history, New Orleans always dominates when wielding a two-way monster, forcing opponents to desperately track all 11 attackers. Chasing the ghosts of our golden era reveals a glaring truth. Champions control the clock using nuclear playmakers. Travis Etienne is the ultimate catalyst to resurrect that winning formula. Still, the financial shockwaves of this monster deal are massive. You have to marvel at how management pulled off this accounting magic while desperate holes still plague the remainder of the squad. Executives executed absolute wizardry on this contract's architecture, heavily delaying the financial ruin to pry open this championship door. This represents a thrilling, do-or-die gamble that perfectly echoes the incredibly reckless bravery of our front office. The fan base must be hyped, yet terrified of the looming financial cliff this path creates. Is this the match that explodes our scoreboard? Or simply a flashy band-aid slapped over a rotting wound? A crushing weight now rests on the coaches to fuse him into a brilliant, demanding playbook. While we celebrate the thrilling capture of this dangerous offensive nuke, we must urgently shift our gaze to the financial bloodletting required to actually fund this spending spree, dragging us straight into the brilliant cap gymnastics surrounding our absolute defensive titans. Desperate for elite, hardcore strategy and the sharpest New Orleans coverage? Subscribe immediately. Smash that bell so you never miss 1 second of the revolution. Ripping up and rewriting Carl Granderson's payday violently proves that the front office is arming their war chest for another massive strike. Tinkering with the bankroll of an absolute foundational pillar like Granderson is never a coincidence. It is a calculated masterstroke, famously known as punting the pain to tomorrow. This forces instant cash flow, arming the vault to patch bleeding holes or bankroll the arrival of fresh, elite killers. For the hardcore cap nerds watching the numbers, this screams that New Orleans is loading up for a siege. This warrior has evolved into an irreplaceable defensive monster. His eagerness to slash his own paycheck right now shouts volumes about the lethal brotherhood brewing in that facility. He is an absolute savage who dictates the violence of our front line, and his on-field destruction utterly eclipses his draft slot. By tearing up this deal, management has sacrificed tomorrow's safety for cold cash today. This is the absolute signature of a club dead set on storming a wide-open title window. You never mortgage tomorrow unless you possess absolute, unwavering belief that your current warriors or your next massive targets will win it all. Strategically speaking, keeping a beast like Granderson thrilled and loyal is completely essential for trench supremacy. He brings terrifying flexibility to rush the edge or crush the middle, an absolute dream for coaches. If you analyze the true, violent soul of this defensive unit, it relies entirely on brutal havoc. Granderson is the nuclear core generating that chaos. Lose him, and our entire playbook instantly devolves into soft, terribly predictable mush. The fan base needs to realize this is so much bigger than just moving imaginary math around. It is about protecting our vicious identity while hoarding enough firepower to acquire more dangerous weapons. This masterstroke, paired with our previous offensive strikes, reveals an incredibly lethal, Dual threat war plan. Management is not abandoning our defense, they are weaponizing it. Yet the burning question remains, why do they desperately need this mountain of cash today? Are they secretly loading the cannon for a mega trade or a jaw-dropping signing? The entire league is terrified that another massive bombshell is coming. While we dissect the cap space, you absolutely cannot ignore the vicious trade whispers violently swarming around several other pivotal superstars, which drags us right to a looming, catastrophic exit that has the whole NFL buzzing. Rumors are exploding about a blockbuster deal for a legendary New Orleans offensive star, with the Denver Broncos charging ahead as the absolute frontrunner to land his talents. Anytime superstar names are aggressively tied to a hungry franchise like the Broncos, you must dig deep into the hidden agenda. Are they slashing massive payroll or stockpiling vital draft picks for a total reset? Based on the explosive roster shifts we just explored, this franchise is clearly making a sharp pivot. This mysterious offensive maestro eats up a gigantic chunk of their financial ledger. Shipping him off would scream to the entire league that management is completely rewriting their DNA. This is a breathtaking chess match. If the brass finally banishes this seasoned offensive weapon, they are gambling everything on finding a budget-friendly rookie phenom to spark the offense, hoping a radical new playbook masks the bleeding. Ripping out the city's heart will utterly devastate loyal fans who worship these icons. But in today's cutthroat professional football arena, pure nostalgia dies extremely fast. Denver is prowling like a predator for an instant game wrecker to supercharge their squad, fully ready to hijack New Orleans' suffocating financial nightmare. This blockbuster is the ultimate trigger. Once it drops, brace for an absolute avalanche of wild moves. We are staring down a thrilling reality where New Orleans looks entirely unrecognizable before summer practices ever begin. The strategic shockwaves of this blast are absolutely monumental. Stripping away the ultimate offensive weapon forces unproven rookies to immediately carry the entire weight of the franchise. It is a colossal gamble. Triumph crowns the brass as visionaries. Failure guarantees a brutal crusade to stop a massive mutiny from furious supporters in the roster. The thrilling link tying their massive defensive overhaul to this looming offensive explosion is totally undeniable. Management fiercely chooses future dominance and cash flexibility over bleeding millions on a rapidly declining, overpriced core. This is the savage, unforgiving reality of pro sports. While we hold our breath waiting for these whispers to become inked reality, the suspense is absolutely suffocating. Every single insider swears that while the ink is not dry, these aggressive negotiations are intensely burning hot. Denver is not window shopping. They are hunting an elite game wrecker, fully aware New Orleans is backed into a dangerous corner and absolutely forced to entertain these massive offers. The upcoming 72 hours will violently dictate the destiny of this franchise. We are at a massive cliff, and every single choice will send shockwaves through the entire year. This is an explosive flashpoint. We are watching an organization fiercely carve out its destiny, juggling the hunger for seasoned warriors against the brutal demand for vital cap relief and explosive youth. Whether this chaos sparks a miraculous title sprint or a dark rebuild, one undeniable truth stands. Management refuses to freeze in fear. They are violently swinging for glory, and the explosive fallout will shake this league for decades. Tell me your thoughts. Amidst this roster hurricane, do you believe this squad is deadlier today than they were 7 days ago? Or are we painfully watching the dawn of an agonizing teardown? Flood the comments right now to fuel this fiery debate. Thank you for locking in.